Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 23. This is the final race of our MotoGP career mode, and we will start from the back of the grid in the circuit Ricardo Tormo of Valencia. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching for this season, but this is the last one, so make sure to go out in a bang. So here we go then, as mentioned already, starting from the back of the grid. We're also only going to be using power setting 1, unless I really need to change it to keep the action fun and exciting. I think we're going to stay on power setting 1 for today's and final MotoGP 23 sprint in the career mode. Look at that move up on the inside. Oh, give Raul Fernandez a bit of a nudge as we dive into the left-hand side. This is the terrific Mick Doohan corner. Oh, bouncing, mopping and weaving into turn 2. But it looks like we're gaining ground rather quickly, rather promptly, and rather precisely. All the way up now to the top 10 as we almost took a hit from Marco Bezzecchi. I've seen Marc Marquez and I think it was Miller and Espargaro all getting a bit messy up at the front. As we now dive into the left-hand side, bit of contact to Johan Zarco, gesticulation from the Frenchman. Of course, in MotoGP 24, that'll be a penalty probably, so I'll have to be careful in doing that for future reference as we now dive at the inside of not 1, but 2, but 3. Oh, what a beautiful lunge that was. I know I gave Maverick a bit of a hit, but hey, it's fine. We're through, and we're already up now into the top 5 positions. In fact, make it one better. Not quite. I thought I was going to get through there on Luca Marini, but he was excellent. I'm going around the outside on board the GP22 Ducati. Now into the Championatos corner. I might have the inside line here. I'm going to use the inside of Luca Marini here to help balance me around into the corner. Look how much time we'll save by being able to pull ourselves into the corner by using the 120% difficulty AI to get me around the final corner. Look at Paul Espargaro picking up the speed here in the final race of the season. We've got a little bit loose. Oh, really loose upon the brakes. I'll try and rejoin now in a safe manner, which I think we do relatively fine. Maverick hits my rear tyre, but it should be all right. But we are slipping behind against teammate Enea Bastianini. He's pulling away ever so slightly. Look at Paul Espargaro launching up on the inside, scything his way through on the Tech 3 KTM. Now into the right-hand side. Ooh. I expect him to come back up on the inside there on board the gas, but he didn't. Gave us enough space, and look at that. Bastianini's lead has now gone up to 1.7. This might not be as easy as I think it will be. Do I need to change the power setting 2? I don't need it to get through on Marini, and I might not need it to get through on Binder here as he goes. Excuse me, Jack Miller. Of course, it's not Binder. We've not seen Binder at all this year in MotoGP 23's 3rd season of career mode. Up on the inside of Jack Miller. I tell you what, thinking about the career mode recently and thinking about the rider transfers for MotoGP 24, we're going to see some wacky combinations in MotoGP 24, and I cannot wait. I'm going to go absolutely crazy on the career mode. I want to do at least 5 seasons in the Premier class. This season, we did 5... Yeah, this career mode, we did 5 seasons. We did 1 in Moto 3, 1 in Moto 2, and 3 in MotoGP, not including the debut mode at the beginning of the season. Look at that, Luca Marini and I both set identical lap times of a 1:28.401. Bastianini went wide into turn 1, giving us a chance. We might be able to claw back. Look at Jack Miller, a little bit loose upon the brakes on board the RC16. He gets through on the GP23, but surely I'm through now. Nicely done. Marvellously done against the number 43. The Aussie comes back though. I don't know what you're complaining at me for. That was clearly your fault. Just Jack being overly aggressive in the final race of the season. Or at least the final sprint. Oh, a bit of a nudge there to the KTM. I don't think Jack Miller's won a race this season compared to our 13 victories, so I think he's really wanted to get a win here. I might be able to match Marc Marquez's winning record. In fact, how many did he have in 2014? Was it 14? I feel like it was, but maybe it wasn't that many. But I know he had a ridiculous amount of wins that year. I think it might have been 11, 12, 13 or 14, something like that. I know we're well up there for MotoGP history, let's be honest. With a terrific season on board the GP23 Ducati. It has been the tool that we needed to ensure MotoGP glory. What a season. And I love how it's just coming to a conclusion right at the death of MotoGP 23 and right before MotoGP 24 graces our computers and consoles. Now, up onto the brakes. Do I need to change over to power setting 2 yet? I think we're good for now. If that lead stays over a second, then I might contemplate it. But for now, I think I might be alright. It's just that I'm too busy faffing around with Jack Miller, making moves, not letting him get through, then fighting back. It's costing me time. So now that we have a small bit of gap to Miller, we should be able to pull the pin and go for it. Pull that throttle and just absolutely send it against the hardest difficulty artificial intelligence within MotoGP 23. Now onto the power. That gap has just dropped to less than a second. Onto the brakes here for the magnificent left-hander of turn 8. We are able to close in. Look at that championship standing. I've actually forgotten about that. Marquez and Miller are both battling it out for that third place in the championship. Where Miller is right now, he's losing points to Marquez ahead. He's got to bounce back, and he's got to have a good race here as well as the sprint to ensure that third place in the championship. Oh, Marquez was a little bit deep there into turn 12, and we are catching hand over fist, ladies and gentlemen. 8.5 tenths of a second we have found on this particular lap. That is going to be a low 127. In fact, it could just be better than Marquez's 127.6 across the line. It is. It's a 127.467 for the man on your screens right now. Bastianini looks to be going deep into turn 1. If he's not careful, Marquez will go full send. Probably the king of going full send, Marquez. I mean, let's be honest. Is he going to have the drive to get through on the beast? And of course, guys, if you are enjoying this sprint, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. It does help out the channel grow, and of course keeps you inundated with MotoGP 23 content, and soon to be MotoGP 24. Cannot wait to get my hands on MotoGP 24. Fingers crossed I do get early access eventually. I know it'll happen. At least I'm very hopeful it'll happen. We'll see what happens in the next couple of days. But onto the brakes then. As we dive into the left-hand side for turn 8. Marquez left the door open ever so slightly, leaning on the Repsol Honda. The 8 times world champion is meeting up with a 3 times world champion, but somehow 3 begats 8 right now as we make our move through the 47 ahead of the number 93. And I tell you what, an Air Bastianini, he's not getting away at all. I thought he was earlier. We're still on power setting 1, even with the soft option rear tyre, which I thought would be a little bit of a gamble here in Valencia. Nice sunny skies and that. So I really did feel that it was going to be that way, but not to worry. Out of the final corner. The gap has gone up to 6 tenths though. Whoa, fastest man on circuit by 1,000th. And Marquez tries to fight back. Going on the straight, going into the Martinez Aspar corner. Marquez not strong enough on the brakes. We do hold on to second place. Bastianini's deep into turn 2. They always go deep into McDowan corner. They're costing themselves too much time. And the same can be said for turn 3 and 4 if they're not careful. Into the right-hander, closing in rapidly on Bastianini. Do really like this turn 5. And then, of course, the Nico Terrell corner going into turn 4, of course, is an excellent point for overtaking. It's hard to do in the game, but it's certainly an overtaking hotspot in real life. Now onto the left-hand side. Hit the brakes firm and keep on the left-hand side of the Ducati until we see an opening. Whoa! That was close to the number 23. What a sprint this has been to cap off a terrific MotoGP 23 career mode. Up on the inside of the beast, leaning on him into turn 11. We've got through. Can Bastianini fight back into turn 12? On the penultimate lap, that could be curtains for the man they call the Beast. Oh, he's fast around the outside, though. The AI is better than the player for going around the outside and the long way around. Look at him pushing me into the corner. Into that corner alone, we found 2 tenths of a second, courtesy of teammate and rival Enea Bastianini. Another fastest lap of the sprint here in Valencia. Turn 1 is beckoning a lunge, and here it... Oh, wow! Bastianini made a mistake, so did I. That's keeping it close. Where is he? There he is. Might be able to retake the lead here going into turn 2. As mentioned on the lap prior, the AI aren't particularly strong into that corner. Oh, Bastianini with a wheelie as well. We're going to go through into the turn 4. We certainly are. Bastianini, he's tempted to go around the outside. He's all over the place in this latter stage of the race, but he launches the move back up into turn 5, and Jack Miller's sprint chances have gone. That may be his third place in the championship. Bloody hell, that was a hit and a half from Bastianini. I need to get through here because this is too much messing around. Great for content, but we need to get the hurry on. Oh, look at that. Last of the late breakers on the side of the Ducati. Michelin front rubbing and burning as we went up on the inside for a spectacular overtake in to turn 8. And oh my God, look at that for a hit. Oh, get him a penalty. Give that man a penalty. Oh, that's disgraceful. That's absolutely diabolical. Enea Bastianini's lost his head. He cannot stand his teammate being better than him in the virtual form. I can't believe that. That's disgusting. Get that man a penalty immediately. Marquez is your winner. I'm not having that. That's disgusting. That's the Lorenzo finger wag on the podium celebration. That's disgusting. I've been robbed. I've been absolutely robbed there. Oh, that's a disgrace. I can't believe that. Well, Bastianini does take the 12 points, but yeah, in controversial fashion. I know we've been aggressive ourselves this season, but that was a pure punt to get out the way. Goodness me. Well, those are your top 9 finishes, and that is the championship standings going into the final race in just a few moments' time. Jack Miller's got to do something special here in the race to secure 3rd place in the championship. Well, that's not quite how I expected the sprint to go down, but you better believe I'm going to get my revenge in this race. Whether we both go down or if I just take him out, I'm going for it. And coincidentally, he is my challenge to beat here today. The irony is, or the coincidence, no, I guess irony I would say, is the fact that they want me to beat an Enea Bastianini in the championship in these last 3 rounds. The championship was over about 5 rounds ago. Why all of a sudden is now a problem? I don't really know. But, oh, Quattro went down! Oh, that's a terrible spot to go down. He could be crushed going into turn 3. And I tell you what, we're making short work of the AI here. Goodness me, we've already flew up to 3rd place in 5 corners. Oh my God, Enea Bastianini, where are you? I'm not even going to see him. Oh, damn it. I went a little bit hot there and the AI touched my rear tyre. Of course, you've got to be careful with that. Can usually result in just a crash. Oh, and here's Luca Marini. I owe him for a hit from Sepang, so take that back. Yeah, stick that up your backside. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it, Luca Marini. He absolutely punted me into Sepang, so that's a bit of payback. And I tell you what, it's not even occurred to me, but we were 22nd to start this Grand Prix on the hardest difficulty in the game, using the lowest power option, which is power setting 1, and we're already up into the front place. 0.2 of a second clear from Luca Marini. We were 0.2 of a second clear until the VR46 Ducati, the GP22, went for a lunge into Adrian Campos' corner, but now into turn 1, there's no way he's going to deny me on the brakes, is he? No, surely not. He's run it deep. We're through, and we have the advantage. That could be curtains, and I tell you what, Miller is in 6th position, Marquez in 7th. That's close, but it does mean that Marquez will finish 3rd place in the championship by the thinnest of margins. It's very close though. Very interesting as well, as a matter of fact. I'm curious to see what's going to go down between the two of them two, but I just don't think we're going to really see it. We're going to be very busy. I was going to say chopping and changing, but we're quite opposite. We're just going to be dominating with excellent lap times. But what a way to finish the season. We've got to make sure we get it done, but I think it's time to get a bit sentimental. To say thank you to the Aces for watching all the content this year in MotoGP 23. What a season it's been. What a career mode it's been. What a game. I've absolutely loved MotoGP 23. I think this will go down as, I don't want to say my favourite MotoGP game, but it's well up there. I don't really have a particular dead-on definitive favourite. MotoGP 08, MotoGP 23, probably 21, maybe 17, 14, are all well up there for my favourite MotoGP games, but this one's been extra special. We started doing MotoGP Cups, of course, with the Ace Academy. We've won the MotoGP career mode, which of course had not been easy. We had a baptism of fire going into our first race of MotoGP career mode, which of course was on board the Tech 3 Gas, crashing out into Portimao, getting taken out by teammate Pol Espargaro in Argentina, bouncing back in a bang in Austin, Texas, and from there, the rest was history. 120% difficulty. There was a lot of questions about reducing the difficulty and making it a bit easier for myself, but we didn't do it. We persevered on the hardest difficulty, and here we are today, 3 seasons in, finally taking a victory. All you need is a red factory Ducati to get you by, and that's exactly what we had. Part of me does wish that we had kept on with the KTM, but a lot of the aces wanted to see me on board the Ducati. We got our wish, and of course dominated the season in Valentino Rossi Prime, Jorge Lorenzo Prime, Mick Doohan Prime, Giacomo Agostini, Marquez Prime, and we absolutely took over the world, and it was amazing. It was a great season. Not as fun as the KTM, though, I'll be honest. I thought the KTM was just absolutely amazing. I would finish each and every race physically and mentally knackered against that hardest difficulty. And the fun part about it was the fact that the motorcycle itself was just so slow on power that I would be riding at my absolute limit just to try and keep tabs with the guys, and then some of the races they would just absolutely annihilate me. I'd jump online, I'd do some race online, and my lap times were about 2-3 seconds quicker than what the gas and the KTM were giving me in the career mode, and it was just quite the craziest career mode I think I've ever done. I think it was one of the, it is the best career mode I've probably ever done as well. Really enjoyed this one. Of course, made extra special from the likes of Sergio23 making the helmet and the number. Everything just looks so perfect, and I'm able to get immersed in my own career mode as a fan of the game, and of course as the content creator as well, because I do really enjoy making the career mode videos. Probably my favourite bit about content creation is the career modes, commentating for the virtual riders and making it fun and exciting for you guys. So as well, you guys also, I've seen a lot of comments, I see a lot of new channel members popping up as well, and a lot of nice comments regarding the quality of the career mode videos, the 4K quality, the good quality of the commentary. I think my microphone's improved a little bit. Have been able to find a few settings to make it sound a little bit stronger and a bit more visceral without it sounding tinny like it used to do. So I am pretty much happy and ready to conclude my time with MotoGP 23 and move on to MotoGP 24. Still got a few challenges left to do here on 23. Of course, I've got to wait a couple more days here anyway until MotoGP 24 arrives. And of course, I do need to try and get my hands on a copy so I can play the latest installment of MotoGP. Now, quick look at the top 8. Whilst I was talking I wanted to interrupt myself, but I was patient. Jack Miller's no longer in the top 8. So for you Aussie fans, I think Miller will not finish 3rd place in the championship after all. Marquez looks to be occupying that 6th place in his last season with the Repsol Honda. I mean, I say that now, but who knows? We might move over to MotoGP 24. By the time we get to the career mode, Marquez might be back on the Honda. Who knows? I can't wait to see the parity in MotoGP 24 though. Because anyone... Well, I guess that's the point I was going to say, is that nobody's safe. Anyone can move to any team. Maverick might move to Honda in real life. He might do it in the game. Jorge Martin might move to Yamaha. It's going to be great. I can't wait to see what happens. I really can't. And as I say, my goal is to do as many videos in MotoGP 24 as possible for the career mode, so we can get a great look of all the seasons and all the career mode and all the changes. It's going to be really exciting to see for the future. Now, as we go on to the power here, we could actually potentially be increasing our lead, so I would imagine the AI is not going to deter us from this victory. So we should win 14 races this season in MotoGP 23's career mode. I don't know how many that would be in total. I didn't quite look. I think it's about 30 plus wins. And I don't remember how many podiums, but we've had, it might be even more wins. I don't know about MotoGP. It's definitely not that many in MotoGP, because the first season we had about 6 wins, or maybe 3 or 4. Then the year after it was about 6 or 7. So I would say we're probably on a good 20 wins in MotoGP. In Moto2 and Moto3, probably looking at about 40 wins. So something similar to the likes of Jorge Lorenzo. Pretty impressive stuff, if I do say so myself. And of course, since we're coming to the conclusion of this MotoGP career mode, I am curious to see what you guys have been up to. What sort of career modes have you been doing? Have you been dominating on the lower difficulties, or have you been struggling your way through like I was on the hardest difficulty in the game? I think it's really fascinating how we started in 4th, finished the first year in 4th, finished the second year in 2nd, and then finished the 3rd year in 1st. It had a sort of interesting development cycle to it, and I also appreciate the fact that we went from the Tech 3 satellite KTM team, moved up to the factory KTM team, showed our worth, and then Gigi Delinia, Claudia Demicali and all them came over and went, you know what, this guy's pretty good. We'll take him, we'll have him. But I must confess, from a fan of the sport who's watched MotoGP for many years now, I particularly remember Valentino Rossi being disappointed with Yamaha for employing a very young double 250cc world champion in the form of Jorge Lorenzo. He felt that he needed a teammate who would back him up. Well, not needed, but wanted a teammate that would back him up, rather than a young, hot upcomer like Jorge Lorenzo was at that time. And he absolutely blew up the championship in the first couple of rounds. A bit like Pedro Acosta now. In fact, probably better than what Pedro Acosta's doing right now. He could 3 podiums in a row, I think it was, and a victory in his 4th race. Incredible from Lorenzo. But the point I'm trying to make here is that me, as Enea Bastianini's biggest rival in the championship last season, then became his teammate. I don't think I've ever seen that in MotoGP. And I think if anyone has experienced that, the main rider must have been livid. Because it's disrespectful to Enea Bastianini to pick his rival and put him in the seat next to him. I imagine there must have been all sorts of arguments and disagreements amongst the team when I first started in the Factory Ducati. Just a little bit off topic there, but it's something that always makes me smile when I think about this career mode, because I do think of the parity and thinking about the opportunity to discuss about different sort of scenarios to take here in MotoGP. Of course, like the first season, Marco Bezzecchi was really strong and then disappeared. Luca Marini seems to have got into his own, and in fact, he's up there. He was up there in 2nd place, so he's obviously having a ding-dong of a battle with Miguel Oliveira somewhere, and now he's back into he's back to 3rd. Oh, I'd love to be the race director right now, watching and witnessing the battle for the 2nd place. Now, there's always an interest for battle for 2nd place, because even if you fail to beat the rider in 2nd, it's not too demoralising. If you fail to beat the rider in 3rd for his 3rd position, or you fail to dispossess the race leader for the win, there's obviously a lot of disappointment to be had there. But when you miss out on 2nd, you just finish in 3rd anyway, you're like, it's okay. it's not the end of the world. As long as it's not a championship on the line, you're probably quite all right. But as we go onto the left-hand side and getting close to where Enea Bastianini took me out, right here into turn 11, I can't believe how aggressive that move was. It was quite ridiculous, wasn't it? I don't think it was probably not intentional, but I know that AI do run it a little bit tighter there, and then sort of go for they go tight apex and run it quite wide, a bit similar to like the Honda's V-shaped line. And I just think I got hit from him. I don't think the AI really paid attention to what was going on right now. But as we now go over the line, we are still in the 127 lap times. I must confess, I'm quite happy with the lap times that I've been demonstrating here in Valencia. Now, in the sprint, we only got to the 127 probably 3 times. We had some crucial fast laps towards the end of the race to catch up to my teammate, but we weren't able to really chuck in the faster lap times because, of course, we needed that clear air, which we now have, and you can quite clearly see that's doing us wonders. It really is 6 seconds clear from the competition. When we started in Portimao a good couple of weeks ago, we said I think I said I would start as I meant to go on. What a way to embody that here. We started with a bang in Portimao, pole position, victory in the sprint, victory in the race, fastest lap time, you name it. And here we are today in Valencia to end our Ducati career mode the same way we started. Not so quite the pole position. Also not quite the sprint victory due to someone else. And of course, finally, we should be able to get the fastest lap of the race and the race victory here. With about 5 laps to go, actually. It's really finishing off the season quite nicely, this. I keep looking at that top 8 on the left-hand side, though. I just want to see Jack Miller get in there. I want to see what happens, but I just don't think he's anywhere to be seen. That's his fault, though. He was miles ahead of everyone else in 2nd and 3rd place, and then he just blew it. I don't really know what happened to him, but he certainly blew it. as we now go for that beautiful apex into turn 1. I wonder how long it'll take us to get used to MotoGP 24 when that arrives. Is it going to be pick up and play, immediately have that feeling and sensation, or is it going to take some time? I've seen 1 or 2 videos about MotoGP 24 so far, and it does appear that the ride height, the pickup effect has been reduced. I have heard people say it's completely gone. I hope that's not the case. I actually really like the pickup effect, and I'll certainly miss it if it does disappear somewhere. But onto the final couple of laps here, onto the left-hand side. We go into turn 8. 7 seconds is the difference. I'm just trying to have a look at a note here, because I did make a note of Marc Marquez's victories. And apparently, Marc Marquez won 13 in 2014, in his dominant year in MotoGP. And then he bettered that. No, in fact, he never did better it. It was always the same. 13 wins was his highest total. In 2019, he acquired 12. So this race here would be a new record. We would win 14 MotoGP races in one season. Granted, there was 20 races a season, but that means way more than 50% we finished on the top step of the podium. Too easy. With the Ducati, too easy. What a season. What a year. What a game. What a time to be alive, ladies and gentlemen. Plenty more MotoGP coming. It really is. Of course, if you are still enjoying the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. MotoGP 24 is right round the corner, and I'll have content with you straight on the day. Usual plan is, if I get early access to MotoGP, I would probably do a race and a review on the same day, so then we've got plenty of content to watch and discuss together. Very excited to see what's going to happen for MotoGP 24. The days are getting closer, and, well, I can feel it. I can feel the excitement and the stress, actually. There's a little bit of pressure going involved, because, of course, you've got to make sure you get the time in to make sure you can leave a solid review. There's no point in playing 4 hours and going, oh yeah, best game in the world. Or, alternatively, you play an hour and say this game's terrible. You've got to give it time. You've got to really let it brew and to understand what's better and what's worse, if anything, in the new installment. So we'll see what happens as we go into it, as we go now onto turn 13 for the 12th time of asking, ladies and gentlemen. No, the 11th time of asking. This is our 11th lap, and we've got a few more laps to go here. This video has flown by here today. Certainly done a good job as we come out to the left-hand side there, with power to burn across the line. Oh, we almost dropped into the 128. I'll drop a position if I drop to the 128. Now, I'm a little bit concerned here. I don't think it's going to rain, because I'm pretty certain the weather in this game can only go clear to cloudy, or cloudy to rainy, rainy to dry. I don't think it can change from clear to cloudy to rainy. I certainly hope it does, because that makes it very interesting. But at the point of this, it's pretty much gone now anyway, because MotoGP 23 is about finished. There's certainly not going to be any updates now for this game, as the fans wave their flags in the sixth corner of MotoGP, of course, because a 7th corner is Afflicción, which is this one here as we go into now turn 8. Oh, and of course there goes the Discord sign. Don't forget to join if you would like to take part in the upcoming MotoGP 24 Ace Academy Cups. Probably get onto that when Race Director arrives. I don't know if Race Director's already in the game, but if it isn't, well, then we'll have to wait a couple of weeks till maybe we start the championships rather than the cups. But we'll definitely see what happens in the future for MotoGP 24. But if you want to be part of the community and talk MotoGP, or if you want to just have fun with the game, then definitely join my Discord server. You'll meet some very nice people in there, and we always like to have a good chat about motorcycle racing. That battle for second is still on between Oliveira and Luca Marini. I'm also seeing Maverick Vinales and Bastianini change places as well, I think. And there's no Marquez now in the top 10. That's interesting, because if Marquez fails to acquire a point, did Jack Miller need around 5 points to finish 3rd? He'd have to finish 11th or 10th then to overtake him. I don't remember. I think it might have been 10 points of difference, which is impossible now. I'm not entirely sure. I didn't actually make a note of that as we started this race here today. Usually I try and leave a couple of notes so I remember some bits, but I actually forgot today. Don't remember a thing. 11.2 seconds is the gap. I don't think Miguel's going to come back through. sorry if you wanted him to return back to the top step of the podium, but actually don't forget, he did beat me in Indonesia in Mandalika. I dropped the front in the penultimate corner, and then Miguel came on through. As much as I tried to catch up to the man, I could not catch up to the Portuguese rider, and he took victory where I took the MotoGP World Championship. So it was a bit of a heartbreaking moment for myself to lose that particular bout in the race, but at the same time, we won the championship, so it didn't really matter all that much. But onto the left-hand side and finally going in, this is the conclusion of the penultimate lap of today's Valencian GP. The last race of the MotoGP 23 career mode, and we're still comfortably in the 127s. Championship lead is massive to Enea Bastianini. Maverick Vinales is now going to take over fourth in the championship. Jack Miller has completely fallen off at the latter stage of this season. That's a shocker. That is absolutely shocking for Jack Miller. Must hurt to be a fan of the Aussie. Of course, I'm a fan of everyone, so it is sad to see that. But I'm always also happy to see Marquez and Maverick Vinales take the positions and move up their rankings for the championship. But guys, what a season has it been. It's brilliant. I loved it. And we've done every single lap there in 127. I don't even think it matters now because we won't even see what the lap time is for this final one. I'll keep trying, but I don't think we are going to improve the lap time any more. We can go into the change direction now for turn 9, turn 10 and 11 without worrying about Enea Bastianini launching a lunge up at the inside. We should be safe to finish this one comfortably 13, almost 14 seconds ahead of the competition. Championatos corner for the final time. Turn 13 for the final time. 2 more corners to go before we say goodnight and goodbye to MotoGP 23 career mode. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big wheelie for the aces if I can. Oh, I lost it. Sorry. I'm going to stop here instead. Now go for a wheelie. Oh, I just can't do it. I had a little wheelie across the line. Wheelies were never my forte, apologies. So across the line, oh, Maverick got the fast lap at the end of the race as we finished every lap apart from the final one in the 127s. This is the last look to see if Augusto Fernandez finished in the podium. Oh, he didn't finish in the points. So that means he's the only rider in the career mode not to finish a point this season. Look at Miller. Oh, Miller. He went from 3rd to 5th the last couple of races and just hasn't been able to stay to get that point, those positions back. That's a disaster. Down the order then, Jorge Martin had a dreadful season, so did Bezzecchi and Binder. Espargaro finished ahead of Binder in the end, wow. And Augusto Fernandez did not acquire a single point, with Taka getting 3 additional points for his championship challenge. So ladies and gentlemen, I will leave you now with the teams and the Constructors' Championship on the screen right now. Guys and girls, thanks for watching this season. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know in the comments section down below, and I will see you tomorrow for more MotoGP 23 content. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.